win this tournament?
Well, that'll be up to my players. We'll see.
When you saw Miami on the board, I mean, you've been around a long time. Is it still the same thrill to see the name of the team?
It's a thrill to see your school up there and knowing that we have a number 3 seed. That'll be the second highest in school's history. We had a 2 seed 3 years ago. So we keep plugging away. One of these years we'd like to be a number 1 seed. But whether you're a 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed, 4 seed, or an 11 seed, you want to try to win the national championship, and that's what we're going to try to do during these next 3 weeks. You have to win 6 games. You got to take them one at a time, and you got to play great in every one of them.
Have you had a chance to even look at the bracket, like Arizona would be the next game? Have you looked at some?
Well, I don't look at who might be our next opponent. We look very specifically at Buffalo, and we'll try to prepare our team to be the best we can be on Thursday night in Providence.
Do you know anything about Buffalo and the map?
I know. I coached in the Mid-American Conference, and we played against a lot of good players, coached against a lot of good teams and a lot of good coaches. And I know Buffalo has done a great job. They ran off the MAC tournament, and they beat Akron in the championship. And Akron very easily could have been an at-large team this year.
They've won the last 2 MAC tournaments that never hadn't been in the NCAA tournament. It would seem to suggest that they've won the tournament last year, and they at least sort of have the tournament formula worked out.
Well, last year, Bobby Hurley was their head coach. He did such a good job. He moved on to Arizona State. Now Buffalo, again, with his assistant moving up and becoming the head coach, they've continued that formula, and it's worked from the past 2 seasons.
Where did you play for Providence? You played for Providence. What building?
Well, they call it now, I think, Joe Mulaney Court, but it was Alumni Hall back then.
Same building, been refurbished. I'm assuming.
Oh, they don't play in that building, Providence guys. They play in the Providence Civic Center, which is known as Dunkin' Donuts Arena.
Are there some restaurants and stuff that you know from the Providence?
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, that are like your favorite spots.
Well, when I was in college, I don't know if it's still there. I'm not that old, but I haven't lived in Providence since I was 21 years old.
Right. You think there's anything left there from your days?
I don't know. I used to eat at Russo's all the time.
Russo's?
Russo's.
Okay.
And I used to eat at the Rhode Island Hospital because one of my friends was the cook there.
What do they serve at the Rhode Island Hospital?
Reasonable meal?
You know, like any hospital, they got a cafeteria. The food is very good.
So you're going to take your team there for a meal during the hospital?
No going anywhere near the hospital, right?
No, I got to find out where we're going to practice because we play on Thursday. That means we leave Tuesday. And from what I understand, the charter flights are so booked that we might be leaving at 10 or 11 o'clock at night on Tuesday.
Wow. Do you know what have they said? They don't say yet what time, or do you know what time you play on Thursday?
I didn't hear if they announced that.
Do you have a preference? Do you care? No. Whatever.
I only care when I have a choice. If they said to me, when would you like to play, then I have an opinion. Other than that.
And you're expecting a pretty good crowd up there, I'm assuming?
Oh, it'll be sold out. But I would say half the place will be cheering for Buffalo. Well, it's not very far from Buffalo to Providence.
Yeah, they can drive.
All those students will
make the trip.
Well, I hope they will. But I know the Buffalo students will jump in their cars and drive.
I have one more question. Can you compare last year, Selection Sunday last year, to now, to today?
Well, one was agony, and the other was glee. You know, you're just super excited, very, very happy. The other one, you're frustrated and angry and can't believe you let it slip away.
Did you think at that moment that, next year we're going to be on the board, we're going to be in? Did you?
Well, you never know, but you expect. I think that the biggest thing was at the end of last season, when we lost to the championship in the NIT, there was a very strong commitment from our players not to let that happen again. Not to be back in the NIT, but be in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
And when they announced the seeds, I thought we might jump up to a number 2 because our RPI is 9. And it looked like they used the RPI to seed a lot of the teams. So 9 is not really a 2 seed, but could have been.
Yeah. Thank you. Congrats. We'll all be up there with you.
Have you seen you're in the PC Hall of Fame? What is that exactly? And like physically, they have is it a wing of a building? Have you been there and seen
I've seen
plaque
it. It's basically in Alumni Hall, a wall. It's like kind of the wall of fame, and there's just a collage of pictures, and I'm in the collage someplace.
All right.
Probably shooting.
Wearing.
Dr. Rotella told the team that I shot the ball every time I touched it.
Oh, that was.
And now all I do is preach defense, something I never did when I was in college.
Yeah, the reviews on you were that you were quite a scorer, which can mean wearing what number?
I wore 25. I wanted to wear 42, but Taylor Walsh took it, and then he quit the team right after the season began. I was going to wear 42, not with Bill Bradley, who was my role model when I was a high school player.
And what was that arena like?
Well, I never played in the dunk.
Right, but where you did play?
The Alumni Hall was about maybe 3,000 seats, sold out every game, and the fans would go ballistic. We just took the floor. It was wild. They play when the Saints come marching in, and it would give you goosebumps as a player.
Do you know anybody at Providence still? It's been so long ago.
Well, I just got text messages wanting tickets.
So you know
Funny how
enough
that
people
works, right?
in Providence, enough people still up there.
One of my classmates, teammates, text me, don't give me any baloney, he didn't use that word. You have 1,500 requests already. I need 3 tickets. So the beauty about that is I don't deal with tickets. That's
Yes.
Liz's job.
Just pass that on.
That goes right to my wife.
Well, I need to ask you a couple more if I could, and I'm going to ask you to repeat yourself because I was talking to some of your guys.
Oh, that's all right.
Your initial
I think I'll
thoughts.
probably be repeating myself a few times.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like that for a few days. Your initial thoughts, obviously, when you saw the name pop up and you know that.
I just think it's very exciting, first, to really know that you're going to be in the dance before the show begins. And you have your fingers crossed that you get a really good seed, a good matchup in the first round, and that you get a good geographical location. Because I like staying on the East Coast because you're in the same time zone. And you're not traveling to another area of the country. You know, we play along the northeast corridor. You know, we play Boston College. We play Syracuse. So to travel to Providence, which is just a next door neighbor of Boston, and we've had some good success when we traveled to Boston, so hopefully we'll have that same success this time.
you had your instructions for the crowd before the name popped up. To be able to share this moment, especially again, like you said, after last year when you were all just waiting, you couldn't have a moment like this. How much do you think it meant to your team and to your players to have that support?
Well, I think last year they expected to be in the NCAA tournament when the season began. At the end of the year, they expected if they could win, I forget we said 5 of our last 7 games, we'd get in. And we won 5 of our last 7, including the last 2 on the road.
So the feeling was
we could get in. And then when we didn't, I thought the guys recovered very quickly to play as well as we did in the NIT. And we were 3 seconds away from winning a championship. But I think that just solidified our goal of not letting that happen again and go after the ACC regular season championship, tournament championship. And you got to remember, with 1 game to go, we're tied with Carolina for first place. And we let that slip away. Now we have a chance to replace the regular season, a great regular season, with even a greater memory. if we can make a great run in this tournament.
The fact you have so many seniors, this is kind of like it for them. This is, does that play into it that you have so many guys?
Yeah.
This is their final chance.
Yeah, I think the message that they've sent to their teammates, we're a veteran team and we need to play like veterans. We have the experience, we have the know-how, we have the size, we have the skill, we have the athletic ability to compete with the best teams. And again, as I repeat, when you end your regular season playing against Carolina, Virginia, Louisville, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech. Now just look at that. Duke, we didn't play them late. That's 5 of the 6 teams. Top teams in the league.
Right.
And
2 number 1 seeds, actually.
2 number 1 seeds. And we beat Virginia. We beat Louisville. We beat Notre Dame. Yes, we lost at Carolina, and yes, we lost at Virginia Tech. But there were only 2 teams in the ACC, 2, with winning road records at the end of the regular season. North Carolina was 6-5. Miami was 6-5. Virginia was 5-6. So we were only one of 2 teams to win on the road. So that's a good sign.
So just what were your thoughts on 2 ACC number 1 seeds, and then Oregon over Michigan State seemed like kind of a surprise too?
Can you hang on 1 second? Hey, Davon.
He's downstairs right now. Murray's here.
Murph, you jump in there. Davon's doing something.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
I'm sorry, what was the
surprised. Were you surprised, or just your reaction to 2 ACC number 1 seeds and then Michigan State not getting one?
Well, the thing that we believe is that the ACC is the best basketball conference in America, especially at the top. And last year we had 5 teams in the Sweet 16. So we've earned the reputation of being the best basketball league in the country. So it doesn't surprise me. Carolina, who was the preseason favorite to win the national championship, and Virginia, who's been in the top 5 in the RPI all season long, I think they both earned their number 1 seed. I think there is very little difference between the number 1 seeds and the number 2 seeds. So even though Michigan State ended up at number 2, I think they're a very, very strong 2. So is Villanova. You could make the argument that both of those teams deserve number 1. But I think the Pac-12 also made a statement this year that they're a very deep league. And when you look at Oregon and Cal and Arizona, you've got 3 of the best programs in the country, and Arizona in particular has been there for decades. So Oregon, by winning that league, regular season and tournament, I think deserved it.
Thank you.
All right.